Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I'm great, Sanya. How are you?
Good, thank you. And welcome to the session. We are having a live session today with Kelly, who is calling us or reaching out to us from LA. And understand that, I keep a lot of things. I deliberately change a few things so that we can keep the identity of this person safe. And the idea is to really take advantage from everything that's coming out of this session without getting very wrapped up in figuring out other things that don't matter. And what I have Kelly here is dealing with um, a lot of societal pressures. She is in her mid 40s, and she is a very brilliant woman who has very systematically, with a lot of hard work, curated her life in a way that she is now doing post grad doctorate work, doctorate level study. And her accomplishments are so impressive. However, the way our society works is that people still expect her to be on some kind of a schedule, like, why aren't you married, why aren't you doing this? And I was just speaking to Kelly a little while ago, and she was explaining to me, and I'll give Kelly a chance to explain it. Kelly, please jump in if you need to, if I'm misrepresenting you. That we were just speaking, and she was saying that there is an expectation of having, kids, career, and family together, and she's saying that it's not that I don't want that, or I don't like it, or I'm saying no to it, but I also feel that there has to be a natural progression where when that happens, and she's at peace with it, however feeling the pressure still. Would I say, would that be correct, Kelly?
Yes, I think you've captured it really well. Um, I think, yes, the peace has come after a lot of soul searching and making some changes in my life, which have turned out to be really positive.
Excellent.
But I think still there's underlying, it's reconciling my hopes and, you know, my dreams of wanting my own family,
Yes.
um, and how to achieve that. Particularly when I've been so successful in my professional life, I think that that personal piece is missing. And it's for me, how do I achieve that without feeling like I'm on a schedule, as you said, of having to have achieved it by a particular age?
Yes. Yes. So, and Kelly, you have a lot of company now. There are so many young women who are, choosing to make new, create new ideas and new avenues of what it means to be a woman in the modern age. There are women with 2 or 3 kids who are thinking, why did I have kids? Can somebody remind me, please? Nobody said I didn't have to, kind of thing. And then, of course, there are ones that wouldn't do anything else, and it's just people don't always presume that about men, but they do presume this about women. And I do feel that there is going to be pressure. It is going to take a lot for everybody in this world to change. However, the one person you have control over, that I have control over, is us, ourselves. And so it becomes so necessary to become so grounded as you are right now, but to keep that constantly anchored in that place, anchored in, especially if you know you're going to be visiting family for Christmas and stuff, because that's when a lot of these conversations will happen, that everybody's, oh, what are you doing, oh, when are you going to get married, when are you going to have kids, those kinds of things. And just to give you a little bit of an idea, because I did follow the very traditional path of getting married at a young age and of having children. But I will tell you, looking back, I can tell you that at every stage of my life, my family and the people, the people who put the pressure on, they were always on to the next stage. For example, when I was not in college, they would ask me, what am I doing in college? Then as soon as the college was over, they'd be, when are you getting married? Then when I was married, I was like, okay, now I can breathe. When are you having a kid? Now, okay, now I have a kid. Now I can breathe. When are you having the next one? This one needs a sibling. It's like, you, do you know, are you following me?
Yes, I've been aware of that too. Yes, it doesn't end.
What do you say to that?
I mean, what do you say to that? Because it seems to be a pattern, and it could be because particular cultural groups as well place more of an emphasis on this timeline
That's
or
right.
having, and I don't know whether it's a case of keeping up with the Joneses or, with appearances. Um, but the older I get, the more I realize that that's their issue, and
Yes,
I have.
I love that. And not only is there issue, but the reason I went through all of these personal details and giving you this whole history is that I don't think it's going to stop just
Mm,
if you get married. I don't
yes.
think any of this ever stops.
Yeah, so it's okay, being at peace with it yourself, or developing thick skin and not letting these comments, because I think people are well intentioned sometimes, but they don't deliver
Yeah,
uh, message well.
that's true. That is true. The other part of this is that sometimes people are well intentioned, and they will be some people who will be both well intentioned and deliver the message well, but their message is coming from a place of fear. And that's the
Mm,
piece that we want to talk about. Anytime there's a message that we're getting, and many times it's coming from the mouths of people that we love. Um, and, we are intrinsically trained to give credence to these few people. Or if we keep hearing the message for so many people, how do you anchor in? And the way you anchor in is that there are levels of making peace. And I feel even before you joined this session with me, there is already a level of peace that you have made with this, which you said, came with so much, personal evolution, a lot of insight and everything, which is beautiful. But every time somebody asks us of this, or we go into an opportunity where they could ask us of this, it's almost like a revival of the of the anchoring within you, and the way you discern or decide whether whatever is coming from this loved one is something you need to pay attention to or give energy to or not is by noticing if the message has any fear at its core. And that's what I'm saying, that some of these people are very well intentioned, but it's coming from fear. And you don't want to do that, because when you respond to fear, the only thing you get in return is more fear.
yes, I think too. For me, I've always taken it as a judgment that I'm not doing
Yeah,
something right,
I understand.
and so my automatic response in the past was to get defensive, or
Yes.
to almost take on board their perceived judgment of me and maybe my worth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Uh,
I like that
have you
it's
ever heard of the concept of projection?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
What do you understand about it?
Well, someone's opinion or ideas somehow gets transferred to me in terms of me believing those thoughts and ideas as being true.
Yeah, but and sometimes when you and I think that this person has a judgment against us, that many times it's true that they probably do have a judgment against us. So it's not that they're completely wrong, but the bigger issue and the bigger resolution that needs to take place is that we actually have a judgment against ourselves.
Yes, and I think I have then taken on board maybe their fear or their judgment as being true and not dispelling or
Yeah,
doing that self-talk. I think that's important. I sort of jumped to the emotion of being upset
yeah,
or taking it personally.
yeah, absolutely. And I can give you a quick fix for this.
Mhm.
You would like one.
Yes.
So literally what you do is that every time you get offended and you get hurt, you just become quiet and you just give yourself enough time. This part is really important because that's when things are going to happen. That's when every action can be turned into a response instead of a reaction, like action, reaction, action, reaction, being reactive. So in this space is where our choices are. So that's the first step. Just give yourself some time and space. Slow down
Mm.
and notice that I'm offended and I don't like it. And then think of the line that I'm upset because filling that sentence stem. I'm upset because, and Julia, um, you know, really the way she spoke to me, and Julia is judging me. And you just take that person's name out and you put your name in. I'm upset because I'm judging myself.
Mm.
So
Okay.
right away the mirror turns and now you have something to do, because if Aunt Julia judges me, the truth is that maybe I'll be able to do a comeback, or maybe I won't. Maybe I
Mm.
won't be able to. But let's say that if I did have a really nice comeback, it also has a very temporary shelf life, that piece that comes out of these comebacks. And we're not going for, we're doing higher level stuff, and we don't want little fixes that are just, um, that don't work. We've already done that. So if we want deeper healing, we want to be the kind of people that walk around and we're just completely at peace. We have to see the times when people judge us as opportunities for our personal evolution, our emotional evolution, our psychological evolution. Same thing. Our basically our, or you can say spiritual evolution, but you have to use them as opportunities and invitations. So when you come to that part, so there are three parts. One, get the space to become quiet and to notice that you are upset. And in that space, create a sentence stem statement of, excuse me, I'm upset because, and then you take that statement and you change it. You change your name so that, and I'm upset because Aunt Julia is judging me. I'm upset because I'm judging myself. And the fourth and the last part of this is, well, it could be a fifth part too, but the fourth part, that the really where you can call it very complete, is to really going inside, finding that part of you that is judging you and providing love to that part. Because the only way to provide emotional healing is to provide love in the exact spot where it's hurting. Just like, if I was cut, that's the exact spot that's been indicated to me that this is where I need to provide healing, provide love, provide care. Now, I know I have another arm, but I'm really not taking care of this one. It's fine. This is where it's cut, so I'm going to take care of this. So just providing love and attention, that and having a conversation with it, literally. What do you think about what I'm saying, Kelly?
Uh, yes, I think strategies like that are great when you remember them in the moment. So I think taking the space, or
Yeah.
I guess thinking of what thought to triggers my emotional response. So if I can somehow change the thought by maybe doing a strategy like this, um, it would um, allow me, I guess, the ability to be a bit calmer and not take on board someone else's opinion as being the only right way or the truth.
Yeah. And so when you say, in the moment, I want you to imagine, a hill of snow. You must have experience around snow, yes? Snow
Yes.
hills? No? Do you guys have snow where you are?
Snow, yes,
Okay, great.
I have
So
seen
if
snow.
not, you can imagine a desert. but but what I'm saying is that imagine that there's a snow hill, and then there is a sleigh that you throw down for the first time. It's a little bit, it takes a little bit for it to go down the first time, but as people go in it and they keep going down the same path, the path became so indented that you just have to put the sleigh there, and even if nobody's in it, it'll just go there, right?
Mm.
And
Mhm.
that's what I'm really trying to describe, are neural pathways. And so our neural pathways are created. A lot of our responses are our responses because we have gone down that path so many times. And if you go down that path, and every time you end up in a tree, then you're like,
Mm.
what, I don't like that. So when you're going down, if you can just at some point become conscious, that's the only thing you need, consciousness. If you just become conscious, whoa, here I go again, at some point, it doesn't have to be on the top, but at some point right before you hit it, you just choose another path, and that's going to be creating a new neural pathways.
Mm.
What I'm gonna, it's the first time you're gonna go on that path, it's gonna be difficult because number one, you'll have to be conscious enough to remember, but understand when you're going in the new path, the ridges that are created. So it's going to be a little bumpy. Then the third thing is that you don't know where it's going to end up. It's unfamiliar, and there's always discomfort and unfamiliarity. But then wait a second. The familiar path has become quite uncomfortable, even though there's comfort and familiarity. So the motivation of not ending up in a tree can help you. You have to end up in a tree enough times to say, I don't want this anymore. That is also a part of it that really helps. But then you choose another path. And what I'll tell you, Kelly, is that you don't have to do this many times. I would say about 4 or 5 times. If you get it down 5 times, when you wanted, you got on the path and you were going down, and you were like, no, and then you create new neural pathways. And you could be like, oh, if I take this road, where will I go? Maybe you might need to the next time tweak that road a little bit, but what you've done is you've gotten off that path. And if you don't keep using that path again and again and again, guess
Mm.
what's going to happen? Snow will cover it and start disappearing,
Mhm.
and a new one will start appearing.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a great analogy that you've described. And I think too that you come to a point where the old way doesn't work,
Yeah.
and you get, I guess, sick of the frustration or the feeling that comes with that.
Yes.
So you are compelled to try something new.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I say to everyone is that I would love for you to look forward to the next time somebody's going to judge you. Literally think that, I want an opportunity to heal this once and for all. And I'm looking for it. So when it comes, you're like, whoa, oh, okay, there it is. So the element of surprise is taken away. So
Mm.
right there, you because you're looking at it, you find it, and then you get to practice. What I'll tell you is that if you go past 5 times, you're pretty much like, it's going to be hard for you to do that first thing that you used to do. And if you start to do it like 10 times, you're already a master, like, you're not going back, that kind of
Mm.
thing.
Certainly, there's people I think that I am aware of that they potentially can say something that will trigger me. But then there are times where you get comments from people that you just met
Yes.
or you don't expect, and that's the hard part then to,
Yeah.
um, I
Yeah.
guess, a surprise
Yeah.
and
And
being able to.
Kelly, I'll tell you this, that the universal reality of life is that we don't have control over anyone but ourselves. So my favorite thing would be that all of these people change so I can be comfortable. Unfortunately, that's not a thing. So the only thing we can do is employ control over ourselves so that we live a life experience that we want to live. It seems to me you've already chosen, before you came on this call, you already chosen that I'm going to be at peace with this.
Mm, mhm.
I have other things in my life. Listen, I don't, will it be nice doing that? But you know what? I have so much going for myself that my validation can come from 20 other places.
Yes, yes. And I think too, I've also been thinking about alternative ways to get that sense of or contribution or love in terms of like I'm mentoring at the moment. Um,
Yes,
so
that's a fabulous thing you're doing. Mentoring is really good. In Eric Erickson's stages, that is a very important task for the human development, for the human evolution. I realize that sounds like you and I, when we mentor people, that we are giving them something, but it is an important task for us to do. So I'm glad that you're doing that.
yes, and also realizing that I guess families or there are all different types of marriages or families,
Yes.
and and that's been a bit helpful in terms of thinking about how can I still experience that sense of
Yes,
love or intimacy that I crave, maybe in a
absolutely.
non-traditional sense.
Yeah, and I love that you're doing this work. My thing would be, so the answer to your question is going to be so amazing, but the place to start is to let go of self judgments. It doesn't matter if other people are judging you. I'll give you a little example. And the good part, Kelly, of this conversation we're having is that I'm going to bring you from this place of handling judgments that are coming for yourself to the place where what do you need to do, who do you need to be to have the energy that is so inviting, that doesn't invite, shall I say losers, or shall I say men that waste time?
Men that waste time.
Men that waste time. So you're going to be inviting the kinds of people that match. We, as a general rule, we will always invite people or attract people with our energy is going to attract people. Look, the visual is something else, but our energy is going to ultimately attract people who are at the same evolutionary, emotional or psychologically the same evolutionary level as we are.
Mm.
Should I
Okay.
explain that a little?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, if I am somebody who has not taken the time to be whole, to be a whole individual, and I'm still somebody who's a little bit dependent, codependent individual, most of us are. Most of us are until we work on ourselves. Part of what you said before you came on, and you're saying that, listen, I am trying to find a way for me to validate myself. This is called being whole. Being whole means having a ability to regulate yourself, emotionally regulate yourself without the need of a job, a title, a um, even accolade, anything that is outside yourself. Having the ability to regulate yourself emotionally so that you become emotionally independent. You don't need anybody or anything or any situation. That does not include like husband or, it includes like, academic accolades and stuff. You want them. You want the husband, you want the children, you want the doctorate, you want this trophy, but you don't need them. And there's a
Mm.
difference. So the difference between wants and needs is when we want something, we strive for it. We have a plan, we're working, we're good, that's great. But when we need something, we start selling ourselves out,
Mm.
almost like a dependency. And so, for example, if I am somebody who needs to feel to help people so that I can feel good, then I'm always going to be matched with somebody who is who likes to be helped. And when we get together, what we're going to find, it's going to be euphoric.
Mhm. Okay.
So this is called a dovetail pattern, when somebody who needs something and is meeting somebody who's going to want the same thing that they need. So, but this is not going to last very long. The person who loves being needed is going to eventually feel like they're being used. The person who loves to be helped is eventually going to feel like they're being controlled, as an example. And the secret contract between two people who have not taken the time to become whole just as yet, is that we both have to become small in order to make the relationship work, as opposed to whole people that get together, and their thing is that when we get together, we become greater than what we were. We're able to produce and be and evolve greater into greater versions of ourselves than what we were when we were single. Because in a couplehood, there is a lot of opportunity for emotional regulation, because you get upset and then you heal yourself, you get upset in the places that you get upset and you heal yourself. And also your partner can, if you are secure enough in a relationship, you can take your partner's mentorship and they give it to you in the way that it's mentorship and not meanness. And they're able to see parts of you that you cannot see. And so you rise up higher than you would have if it was just if you were single. So now, if this person who likes to help people meets somebody who's whole, there's no match. There's no match. This person likes this person because they're maybe physically attracted or something, but they don't get it why you want to help me. And this
Mm.
one doesn't get it. Why don't you want me to help you? Do you know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
puppet show.
Yeah.
So so that's why. So the if you want to invite the people that are very much like you,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes, that's
then,
what I want.
huh?
Yes, that's what I'm looking
Yes, that's
for.
what I heard. And I asked you before we got on, what kind of people are these? And you said that people who are goal driven, people who are you know um, who are motivated, who are high achievers. They are maybe well traveled and they're open minded. They don't put boxes around them like, women have to do this, men have to do that. They're just like living as people. Am I catching this right for you,
Yes,
Kelly?
yes, that's correct.
If you
Uh,
want to invite a man like that, then you have to sustain this energy within you.
mm, mhm.
And you do have this energy because I didn't come up with this list. It's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you want a similar man to come to you, maximum amount of the time, you've got to be in this energy. Not that you and I are going to a bar together and then there's, Aunt Julie comes and she's like, I don't know why she's at the bar, but apparently she's there. And she says something mean or something happens in our little scene that has an opportunity for upset versus for versus upset and going down versus upset and using that upset to evolve.
Mm, mhm.
So when you're getting upset when we're at the bar, which one are you choosing? If you're using the one to choose to go down, then that's not you. Then you're going to find people that are down. But if you're using all upsets, because upsets will happen, this is life, right? And if you're using that upset to remind yourself of who you are and what you want and which path you're on, and you're going up with that, then you're impervious.
Yes, that's so true. I mean, you feel unstoppable.
Yes, you know the
Yeah,
feeling. Huh? You know this feeling of unstoppability, Kelly?
yeah, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
It's
That's where
almost
you
like
have
a
to stay. Tell
take.
me how that feels. Can you describe this feeling of unstoppability?
Well, you feel you're at a
The
place where
I,
you're.
the I.
I'm really fine with who I am. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. Um, I can take you or leave you.
Yes,
Um, and I'm not letting your comment bring me down.
yes, 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 absolutely. Yes, yes, and yes. Now, this is so all I'm trying to do is, do you remember and I would love for you to watch this again, Kelly, once I've posted it on YouTube, because I want you to listen to the first part again after we've done this part. That's the path. Every time you find upset, it's not upset, it's an opportunity to rise. When you're rising, where are you going? You're going back to who you are, what you want. You're going
Mm,
back to your list of who you want to be. Be the person. you want to have in your life. Like Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world, be the person you want to be with. You be that person maximum amount of the time. Now, is it possible for us to get upset? Yeah, that's the human experience. We are supposed to get upset. We're supposed to get, angry and everything. That's point A. That is called being human, and that is important. But every time we get on point A, our opportunity is to get to point B, and the little distance between point A to point B is the hero's journey. And that is the road to evolution. As if you do point A to point B, because point A is going to come, it's not stopping. We're going to get upset. People are going to say things, or they won't say things. There'll be reasons to get upset. When the more times we are able to move point A to point B and not have a reaction, have a response by buying time and everything else I said, the less times A will happen with less intensity, and the shorter the distance will be, to the point where at one point, if you keep practicing this, and it won't take years, I promise you it doesn't take years, it just takes diligence, and a desire to do it. At one point, right when A happens, you might even laugh and you just come into B right
Mm.
within seconds.
Sorry, for
Right
take.
within seconds, you will
Oh
be
wow.
upset and you will just come to less than a minute. It'll take you to get there.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes. And this is, hey, come on, Kelly. You're the person, who can do a doctorate. You're the person who can challenge norms. This is not hard for you, and it's not hard for any of us. All of us have been given an inner capability to do this. When you and I are doing this, Kelly, we are not creating something in us that's not there. We're not doing a process of addition. We're doing a process of subtraction. We're taking away and taking off all of the misunderstandings of the world, misbeliefs, all of the misinterpretations of reality, all of the things that prevent us from the true awareness of who we are. So it's a process of subtraction, like David coming out of, Michelangelo carving David out of a rock. And he said, David was in there. I just removed all of the pieces around it to reveal the statue.
Mm. Wow. Yep.
Rumi says the task is not to seek for love. It is to seek and find all the barriers you have put in its way.
Sometimes though it's a process to identify those barriers. You don't yet
No,
see.
I'm telling you how to identify them. It's very easy. You just walk around your life and you notice when you're getting upset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. See, because if I present my entire body to the doctor and say, I'm hurting, I fell down, I'm hurting, he doesn't know what the hell to do with me. Should it be a CAT scan? Should it be a PET scan? Should it be this? Should it be that? What should it be? Should it even be a scan? Maybe it's just an examination. But I have to point out, how do I know which part to heal? The part that's hurting.
mm,
So if you and I are walking down the street, right, and somebody says to us a racial slur that has nothing to do with our race, it's like so off that it's like, oh my God, we don't have any kind of a baggage with that. Generally speaking, people have baggage with their own race, with their own whatever. So we're going to be like, oh my God, this person probably has some mental health issues.
mm,
Whatever we say, we're not going to say, oh, this is us. We'll know that this thing has to be attributed to them and not us.
mm. Yeah.
In order for us to get offended, it already has to exist inside us. Now, if they say a racial slur that is very, very in line with our race, now you've got our attention. Now we're upset. Why? Because it's already inside us. Four friends sitting, somebody comes, somebody's being rude, everybody got like nobody liked that this person was rude, but one
Yeah.
person can't let it go because
Yeah.
that person has some history that they need to heal, to
Mm,
release
yeah.
themselves.
So that situation is an opportunity for healing.
Yes, yes. And you said that, oh, where do I do it? And so this is everything is like so beautifully connected for you. So
Mm.
you become so clear on who you are and what you want. You walk around your life, you use the upsets to keep bringing you back to the awareness of who you are. You don't let these things deter you. Almost like a video game that you're playing, you're like, and then there are obstacles coming, and you're like, shoo, shoo, shoo. And if you bite them, you get the points. I don't know how I just came up with this analogy. I'm sorry. I hope it
Sounds
works.
like Pac-Man.
The first time I just said this, but I hope that works.
Yeah.
How are you doing with um with everything that I'm saying to you?
Um, it definitely makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
It is about that um, practice, so cultivating a new habit.
Yes.
Um, and the more I practice, the easier it will become, and the more I think self-assured will feel.
Yes, I agree. Now,
Who I
have you heard about affirmations?
Yeah. Mm.
I would recommend them to you because we're creating new neural pathways, because
Mhm.
we want to prepare you for the main event, for the main match. I was going to say the Super Bowl, but I'm going to say the main, like, sporting event. Um, so you want to be training every single day, so that when Aunt Julie says something mean, you know that you're waiting for it. You know that
Yeah.
you're waiting for the indicator of a response. And they have to be in the positive sense. You can't say, oh, I'm avoiding this. It's that, what am I inviting? And if
Mm.
you would like, I do need to do something on affirmations. I am going to do a video on affirmations, and I will post it, and I will send you an email when I've done that, unless you're already subscribed to my channel. Are you?
Thank- yes, I have subscribed.
Okay, then I won't have to email you then. Affirmations, and I'm going to write in detail. Usually they are like this: I am, and then you say whatever you're inviting. But when you say it, when you're sitting down making the affirmation, you have the time to think about it, you're in the zone. But you want to write the affirmation in a way that it gives you a picture, because our brain thinks in pictures. So if you just keep repeating affirmations, they're empty, they're just words, it doesn't matter. The affirmations are, when they create a mental picture, is the only time they work. And so you say that, and then the next part of it is, how will you feel when that happens, or what will you do with it? Will you be sharing it with other people? So that's the way the affirmation is done. Another way that I really love to affirm is by saying, I'm the one. It's like calling you
Mm.
forward. And I don't know why that's really attracting me right now for you, Kelly. Like, I'm the one who doesn't quit on myself. I'm the one who gets things done. I'm the one who knows how to get what I want.
Mm. Yeah.
That kind
Yeah,
of,
it's really powerful.
yeah. So those kinds of things.
Hmm.
And I'm probably going to end the session soon. However, you and I can stay connected via email, and we can go back and forth with some affirmations as well.
Hmm.
And if
Yeah.
you like,
Wonderful.
Kelly, I'm going to offer this to you, that when I do my affirmation thing, I could have, why don't I do that? How's that? How about we make our affirmations online so you get support in doing them? What do you think?
Yeah, thank you. That would be really wonderful.
All right, we'll discuss it. We'll go back and forth and discuss it. Um, how are there any other questions that are coming up for me?
Um, I think, as you've pointed out, I think when I'm okay with myself, I'm probably also in a better position to attract uh, that deep kind of love that I'm seeking, because I won't be accepting someone who can't see me for who I am.
Yes, so beautiful. The more you reside in your energy in a calm way, not in a guarded way or anything, the more safe you'll feel, the more encouraged you'll get just to be you, the more you'll invite the same kind of people around you. It's almost like it feeds itself. It feeds you're already on the path. Before you came on the session, you're already telling me that I'm feeling quite at peace with it. It gets shaken a little bit, but yeah, I'm quite at peace with this.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a ongoing process.
Yes. And this is what
Yeah.
life is. And no worries. And you're on the path.
Great, that's good to hear.
All right, Kelly. So let me close this session down. It was such a pleasure to have you, and I hope this helped you. What do you think? Did it help?
Yes, it was a really good reminder about that idea of projection as well.
Yeah.
And I think in life we tend to be on this automatic.
Yeah.
Um, it's about if we want to, well, if I want to go forward and experience life in a more, I guess, bring more peace into my life, I
Yeah.
do need to change habits.
Beautiful. And that's exactly what bring more peace, bring more of what you want, and so all if you just keep residing in this clarity that you already have, and every time you're shaken, you come back to that. Getting shaken is a part of being human. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just evidence you're human. What you do after that, whether you react to it or you respond to it, that's where the human choice is. We can't really choose what happens to us always, but we can choose how we want to respond.
Yes, that's you hit the nail on the head in terms of, yeah, my past pattern was to react, and now I'm considering how I can use the idea of response,
Yeah, this is Viktor
more
Frankl's theory.
self-soothing too, I think, way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for volunteering to do this. I cannot tell you how many people this helps. So anybody who's listening, please send loving light Kelly's way, because all of us who benefit from this, we want to give her the best wishes and lots of love, and stay connected, Kelly. And whoever is listening, if you would like to do this or you have a question, feel free to stay connected. This is my service that I love to do. And my email address is sanya@sanyabari.com, or you can comment here and reach me out here as well. Take care and let us know what you guys think if you have any advice around this in the comments section. Take care. Kelly, you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Yes, thank you for listening today, and I hope you got something out of it for your own life.
Yes. Take care. Goodbye.